Alright, so you want to win some more MMR? So I guess that's fine. I've got a few little more tricks and things I can teach you. Now, in today's video, what I'm going to teach you is basically tread switching. Now, a lot of players know about this, and you know it's very, you know, almost everybody knows about tread switching, but a lot of people don't do it. Whether it's because they're lazy, they don't understand why it's a thing, or why they do it, why they don't do it, I don't know. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna give ourselves enough money for, I believe it's 13.50 for treads. Oh, I got start gold anyway. Yeah, I got it right. Hey. And then we're gonna go do some tread switching and explain to you why to do it. So, treads, what do they do? They're basically boots that give you stats. That's what treads do. I mean, they also give you attack speed because you get gloves of haste in them, but you don't really get them for the attack speed. You get them for the stats. So if you look at my my health bar right now, when I have my my treads on strength, I have 800 HP. If I turn them down to int, I lose 200 HP and I gain, I believe it's 110 mana. Yeah, 110 mana. And if I change them to agility, I will gain, it will be 1 armor, since you get 1 armor for 7 agility. So, the way that Dota works in terms of health pools and mana pools, when you're changing or losing stats, it does it based on a percentage. So if you have 800 HP and you take, say, 100, say 200 to make it easier for the maths, say take 200 damage, so down to 600 HP out of 800, and you then change your stats so that you've got 600 HP, you will have 3/4 of 600 HP. Because when you took the damage, you had 3/4 of 800 HP, which means if you take damage when you have more HP and then change it down to lower HP, you will take less damage. Because if you have 1000 HP and you take 10 damage, you then lose enough strength that you've got 500 HP, you will have only lost 5 HP. Same as if you lose 10 HP when you are on 500 HP, and you then change your strength so you got 1000 HP, you will have lost 20 HP. This also works for mana. So if I use my Dark Pact, I'm going to use 55 mana, and then if I change my treads over, will have lost less mana than if I tread switched if I didn't tread switch, sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that now. I'm going to use my Dark Pact, which will cost me 55 mana, and then I'm going to change treads, and we're going to see at what mana I'm on. Now it should be, let's have a look, it should be around 204. So let's do that now. 213. So that's if I was on 213 mana once I then tread switched back from my intelligence to, I believe I went to strength. Now if I do it again when I'm not on intelligence, we're going to wait for me to replenish all my mana fully. Actually, we don't have to do that, we can just do this. If I can type, right, there we go. And then you see we've only got 195. So does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Now, so what you want to do when you're tread switching is, if ever you're using one of your abilities, you want to be on mana. If you're taking damage, you want to be on strength. Nice. And any other time, if you're roaming around looking for a kill, then you want to be in your primary attribute. The reason you want to be in your primary attribute is because your primary attribute always grants you more than any of your other attributes, because your primary attribute will give you, if your strength is your primary attribute, you will get HP regen as well as damage. If it's agility, you're going to get attack speed, armor and damage, and if it's intelligence, then you'll get mana regen and damage. Whereas if you are an agility and you get strength, you're only going to get regen and HP. So when you're roaming around, not using any spells, not taking any damage, you want to be in your primary attribute. Now I see a lot of players just not tread switch, but it's really important, especially on a hero like Slark, because a hero like Slark, once you've got Aquila and treads, you can basically jungle it infinitely, provided you got your Dark Pact level 4. So you'll have your ultimate as well, obviously, since you'll be level 7. But so there. So when you are playing a carry or any hero that has treads, do remember to tread switch. Now also, whilst on the topic of tread switching and stats, when you use a shrine, if you have any intelligence items or strength items, it's recommended, and a lot of players, well, high tier players do it more than lower tiers, whether it's because lower tiers don't know about it or because they just don't think it's going to make any difference, I don't know. It's always good to put your items in your backpack. If you're doing your offlane shrine, so this one if you're Radiant and this one if you're Dire, and you stand next to the shop, you won't have a cooldown when you add your items back, so you don't want to do it straight away. Whereas if you're doing your jungle shrine, then you can just put your items in, pop shrine and put them straight back in. And you'll see I haven't got the bonus 200 health until the timer ticks down, and then you're getting them back up again. Now if it's treads, all you need to do is put them on agility, because when you're on agility you don't gain any extra health or any extra mana, and it won't affect the amount of attack speed or armor you have. Doesn't affect your health regen or your mana regen. So yeah, so do remember tread switch. It's really not hard. It takes, it doesn't take any extra time. Just before you use a spell, mana. If you're about to take damage, strength. If you're roaming around as agility, then stay in agi. So the reason I actually went with Slug is because it's really important with Slug, because when you use Dark Pact, you want to be on mana, and then you want to go to strength, and actually you don't take anywhere near the damage that you do when you just do it on agility, and it doesn't cost anywhere near the amount of mana, as I've shown. But yeah, it is important on all heroes. Now, if you're playing a hero like Chaos Knight, and you've got treads, and you're about to use your ultimate. So Chaos Knight is an exception for this, because if you're playing Chaos Knight and you change your treads to intelligence, then you use your ult, then you change back to strength, your illusions are going to have the intelligence bonus rather than the strength bonus. And you don't want that really, because 10 extra damage, and I can't remember the exact percentage that the illusions take in damage, but 10 damage, it can make the difference between a kill or getting killed. So you want to make sure that you, for certain situations like that, that is the only situation I can actually think of off the top of my head that situation applies for. But yeah, you want to make sure that you have your treads on strength if you're using an ult on Chaos Knight. But say you're playing sniper, you ult, turn to intelligence. However, if you've got Ags, then just keep it on agility, because the damage that the ult does is based off of your base damage, which is affected by your stats. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful, and actually, it helped you figure out why people change their treads and why they don't just keep them on their primary attribute. But if you're running away from somebody, changing your treads to strength can make the difference between whether you survive or you lose. And say if you're playing Slark and you actually tread switch and use intelligence treads when you're using spells, then you might have enough mana to pounce away in that situation, and use Dark Pact to get out of a stun, or even have the mana for your ult, because Slark is a hero which really does lack mana and mana regen. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. And I promise you, if you do tread switch when you play a carry, you will notice a very big difference. Now, don't expect to be able to tread switch perfectly when you go into your first game trying to tread switch, because it does take practice. But what you need to practice really is just knowing the order it is, and it's strength, agility, intelligence, strength, agility, intelligence. And once you know that order, you'll be fine to tread switch. You don't even ever need to look at your treads really. You should always know what attribute they're on. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please do let me know. Yeah, just remember strength, agility, intelligence. Strength, agility, intelligence, and then you'll be much more tanky and you'll have a lot more mana. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.